Like
Screw it, just do it.
like Nike.
New slogan.
Well, it's not new. Nike's been doing it forever.
Theirs is just do it.
Oh.
The screw it part you added.
I always thought it was screw it, just do it. All right. Hi, I'm Luke, and welcome to another episode of Building Up.
Hello.
Hi, Leah. Oh, yeah. Today I have Leah with me.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And today we're just going to keep it simple. We're not going to talk construction.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk investment, real estate. We're going to just talk about love.
Ooh. Ours?
Yeah. I mean, no. Talk about relationships. Talk about what it's taken for us to get to this point, and what have we learned along the way?
A lot of patience on my end.
Great. I can imagine. None on mine. It's been a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Really easy.
Good answer.
Yeah. No, but I get asked a lot, like, how do you guys work together? We've had people say they could never, they could barely stand.
Professionally.
Yes,
like
yes,
working.
professionally.
Mm-hmm.
They love each other.
Yeah.
What do you suppose has helped us navigate being able to live together, work together? I mean, do everything
Spend all
together.
of our time together.
Nonstop.
I mean, I think communication has been the biggest thing. I think we don't let things kind of fester and sweep things under the rug. I think that we've always communicated like really well. When there's an issue, we talk about it. It doesn't, it just doesn't get like pushed aside.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's big.
For sure. I feel like there's always been a desire to know what the other one needs, or it's like putting the other first.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know that I came by that as naturally. It felt like you're just really good at it. You're really good at I think you have a heart for people. Like, you're a great host. Mm-hmm. You're very other-centered.
Like servant-oriented.
Yeah. And so I think I've seen that modeled, and it starts to play out. Mm-hmm. When you have a dynamic where somebody else is doing it, makes you want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's the same for me with communication. That's not my strong suit, but it's yours.
Communication.
So, yeah.
What are you saying? Did I talk a lot?
You have the gift of gab, my dear.
Oh, man.
Yes.
But you're saying it's helped.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think my first instinct is to kind of retreat. I want to be left alone when we have an argument, and a lot of times I don't know if I would come back to it as to work through it as quickly as you do, but I think the fact that you pursue wanting to
I want to fix
get to
stuff.
the bottom of it, and let's get this fixed. And you do give me my space, hey, she needs an hour or something to cool off, get her mind right.
Yeah.
And
well,
come back.
I don't know. I know what it is for me, but what was it for you that made making a decision at 19 to spend the rest of your life with somebody?
Yeah. Scary.
Very scary, right?
It wasn't for you, apparently, right? You
Not
said
at all.
You had no doubts.
Nope.
And
first doubt I had
was
last week.
Wow. Too late.
I know. Well, I'm just saying, it happened.
25 years in. I mean, I wouldn't say I had doubts. I think I was scared. This is forever, and that's a scary thought. But I just knew. I think I think when you know, like we've talked about that, like when you meet somebody and you have the connection and you have the same values and goals in life, and you talk and you're just like, wow, that person like feels the same way I do about that. And
Yeah.
I think that I knew that. I mean, I think right off the bat we knew that about each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
we both were pretty traditional with our values. We wanted kids pretty early.
Yep.
I saw that you have, and still do, had a lot of ambition, and that was very attractive for me to know that you were going to take care of our family. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I doubted, but I think
So what
I
got
knew
you over that hump then? Just
all
that?
of those other things.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking back, or I'm trying to think of how to say this. I think there's a benefit to being confident and trusting that confidence, like knowing, but it also can backfire, right? But I just never look back, and I still don't. I think it's I'm getting better at it.
So last week is like you're over that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No more doubts.
No more doubts. No, it was the first time that I was like, wait a second, what was I thinking? 25 years. It took me 25 years to think, is this the right decision?
So what happened to make you finally feel that like freak out moment?
I think that it's just I'm getting better at learning from the past, like reflecting. And there was a moment there where I thought, should I have done some of this before I made life-altering decisions? And then it passed, it moved on. But it was a new experience.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll happen more, not doubting us, but just starting to look at, even when I've made mistakes, I'm just like, well, that's just because I need to try harder, or I need to do it again, or, I don't sit there and go, oh, maybe that meant I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I haven't had doubts since.
Yeah.
I think, I just had that initial fear forever. But since then, I think.
Forever scary.
Yeah. Can be.
And we were surrounded by a bunch of people that were scared with you, too. Like, there's a lot of people saying, hey.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So what do you say to your 19-year-old or 20-year-old kid if they come to you and say, we're ready to I'm getting married? Like, does that scare you, or do you say, nope, you can make it. You've got a chance?
Of course it's scary. But I also know that we were in their shoes, we were in that position too. And I think you just have to look at like your relationship with each other. Are you putting God at the center of your relationship? Do you guys have, like we just talked about, do you have the same values? Do you have the same goals? And, are you in it for the long haul? It's not going to all be easy.
Stuff's going to change.
Yes. You're going to change together. You're going to grow up together. We grew up together. We were 19. We were kids.
What's funny though? I was talking to somebody the other day. They got married in their late 30s, and they're like, well, I'm still changing now too.
You
like,
never stop.
You
right?
never stop changing.
Yeah.
So if change is your concern, then it's always going to be a concern, because you can change forever.
Yeah.
And hopefully we do. Hopefully we do continue to change, because
you want to always be evolving, right?
Yeah, get better, grow. I mean, that's part of what we focus on in our business. It's what we focus on in our marriage and our relationships. It's like, continue to grow and learn. Lifelong learners, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't use the Nike slogan, is it not Nike? Screw it, just do it?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't just say, hey, go for it. But you would.
I don't think that's the Nike slogan.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Well, what advice would you give to young kids like us? Hey, mom and dad.
Like the young kids we currently still are.
Yeah. But picture us 25 years ago. And mom and dad, I want to get married.
Well, my thing has always been, you can't control all of the variables.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you've already acknowledged the things that you can like look at and go like, check these boxes. And so I always just sum it up. I say, get as close to what you're looking for
Mm-hmm.
as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other things, if they never change, you have to just say, yep, I'm okay with that. I'm going to live with that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be, nobody's perfect.
Right.
And so if you have those core things like you talked about, you have as good a chance as anybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how old you are. All these people, hey, you got to live more life together. You got to stay together 7, 10, whatever years.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live together. You got to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, why? How's that working for everybody?
Yeah. But don't go into a marriage thinking after I get married, I'm going to change this person.
Absolutely not. Yeah. We may change together and afford them that space, to be whoever. I mean, you're not the person that I married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad for that. Like, I think it's really awesome to watch all of the growth and be surprised and in awe and just be like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we're not stuck.
Right.
And so you should hope that people change, but you're not going to dictate it or control it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to drive that change of like trying to fix them.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, I would say if you've done that kind of overview of the beginning list, I don't know what people are wasting time for. All these people, together, we've been dating for 8 years. I'm going,
Yeah.
what's the holdup? I think
You're
they
afraid
know.
to make a mistake.
Well, I think they already know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that kind of goes into your 3-3-3 rules.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Do you want to tell us about your 3-3-3 rules?
No, I don't want to bore people with it, but I do think that
We want to hear it.
3 is a magic number.
Okay.
There's plenty
It's
of
your lucky number.
I don't know about that, but it's a good number. And I think that, look, nature kind of gives us, 3-month quarters, right? There's 3-month seasons. I think there's a lot of natural examples that 90 days, 3 months, and there's all can go on forever about all the different threes. These are natural things that the human kind of connects with and gravitates towards, and so I don't think it takes that long to figure out. I think you can determine compatibility, maybe not get to know somebody completely, but know deep down within 3 months if you have an investable relationship with this person, like meaning I'm going to pour everything I have into it. So those first 3 months are like the feeling out period.
Yeah.
Where you go, and if you're still together after 3 months, you should be asking yourself, where do I want this to go?
Right.
And you should be giving of, not hiding. You need to be vulnerable. You need to be connecting. You need to be investing and seeking, and not just spinning your wheels, being together to be together.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people kill time in relationships they're not happy in.
Yeah. Out of convenience or not wanting to hurt someone.
Yeah. It's
being lonely or whatever it may be.
And I get it. I'm not, but I'm just saying, I think after you what is it? You go around the sun one time together. I feel like you've seen enough to know. I'm not saying just jump in half cocked,
So 3 months is the feeling out period.
Well, yeah, I guess I was having a conversation this morning with somebody that you need a combination of due diligence and caution, right? And throwing caution to the wind. Because at some point, you can get paralyzed and calculate forever.
Yeah.
And you can
overanalyze.
Paralysis by analysis, right? So if you do nothing but due diligence, you'll be stuck in that phase forever. Mm-hmm. And if you do nothing but throw caution to the wind, you'll end up married 8 times. Right? So, where's that happy medium? When do you get to that point where you go to the edge of the cliff and you jump in? And I think that maybe my 3-3-3 program's a joke, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing to give yourself a clock
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, how do we measure? Are we moving forward or are we not?
Yeah.
Because I would say dating somebody in this holding pattern for 8 years is not moving forward.
No.
And you're not doing them or yourself a service by not fully committing yourself. And you're depriving each other of the deep connection, that richness of actually saying, hey, this is it. Come hell or high water,
Yeah.
you're my person.
Or if you're not, then you want to find that person. You want to allow them to find that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So it's holding both you and them back.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think age matters. I think that intention matters.
Mm-hmm.
I think, we're finding out more and more that people don't know exactly how the other person's going to react. You can't, and you can make your best guess. And I don't fault anybody for jumping in. And if it doesn't work, that's, failure is not an option, but
Mm-hmm.
there are situations where you're going to have misread what's happening. And, you will potentially have people say, hey, now that you're in place, I can show you who I really am. And then you have a whole nother set of problems on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're finding more people are staying single longer.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a variety of reasons.
Getting married older.
Yeah. And they're not necessarily finding more success by waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are people at all ages and all stages of life.
Yeah.
You're going to be dealing with hard work to keep a relationship together.
Yeah. What do you think was the hardest time in our 25 years of marriage? What do you think it was, the first year or the 7-year itch?
I didn't get that.
I remember my dad saying, "Hey, you better watch out. That
I didn't
7-year
even
itch
know-
is coming up." And
I
we're
didn't
like,
even know what it was until he told me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm married to your daughter. You're not supposed to be talking to me about a 7-year itch.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Uh-huh. Honestly, the best and hardest years, I think, is raising a young family.
Mm-hmm.
That's really hard.
Yeah. When they're like real little.
Real little.
The sleepless nights, the
Yeah.
early mornings,
Mm-hmm.
craziness. You come home from work, you're exhausted. All you want to do is just have a little bit of quiet, and it's just chaos. But the best kind of chaos. I mean, it's a blessing too. It's amazing, but
Don't you think though, or what was it for you? I mean, what was the?
well, I think for me it was different. Yeah, I think I had a harder time after they were a little bit older and feeling like, oh, they don't need me anymore. Like I'm.
Wait, that's the hardest time you've had in our relationship?
Well, I think as a mother.
Oh,
but
about
in our
as a
relationship,
wife?
yeah, that as a wife, that's a good question because, I was kind of blending the two. But, yeah, that was probably hard. I mean, I was exhausted all the time, and so felt like maybe I wasn't giving as much as I could have to you our relationship and
being spread thin, holding too many different directions.
Yeah.
Trying to save enough energy to not give each other our last. That was a long, hard season to not end up shorting your partner.
Yeah.
Like here's all my leftovers. Here, you get my junk. I gave work and the kids and family and everybody else everything I had to give, so you get the garbage.
Yeah.
And I think that was the hardest season for me. Growing a business, doing our investments and flips and real estate stuff, and while having young children. Yeah. And still needing to prioritize this. So I think that was the hardest.
What do you think that young married couples with small children, what do you think, like some advice that you could give them to, not let the kids and that kind of time come between your relationship.
Well, I think it's the same advice we were given from people. You know, your folks have been married coming up on 50 years. Mine, I think, are at 57. And not forgetting the two people that it started with. I think that was great advice, is saying, hey, don't forget this, the story started with two people. And if you don't come back to that and nurture that and, you know, continue to build that story outside of all the other crap,
Right.
you're going to lose each other.
Yeah.
And I think far too often people, because life's busy and crazy, and it's hard to remember that. And it's hard to save something for investing in that. I think, so that's it. As just, I mean, there was all kinds of other stuff we got, remember? Just, I think my dad was big on rules of engagement, learn how to fight. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was good too.
Yeah.
Like you
Those two
don't
things.
call names
Yeah.
in an argument.
Because you're gonna have hardship, and you're gonna have life thrown at you. And if you come back and you remember, hey, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
We have the same goals.
Yeah, exactly.
We're headed in the same place. And you're the mothership. I always say, you know, the whole put your mask on an airplane before you help somebody else. It's like, if mom and dad aren't doing well, nothing else is doing well.
Yep. There's no harmony in the house.
So put your mask on.
Yeah. Well, we would try to do our date nights and weekends away here and there and try and get away. So it was just us, because you got to get back to just us. It's the Luke and Leah story, right?
Right.
That's what your dad would always say.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that was big for us, was to be able to go away for a couple days. And just
and
get
we're
back to
still
it.
learning. We're still, I mean, we're celebrating 25 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What an achievement. And feels like, you know, just the beginning. And you see all these other people that there's other challenges down the road that we don't even know about, and still learning from those other people. So I think creating that generational loop of pouring into the generation before you, you know, is what's needed too. We need to listen to the people who are pouring into us. We need to then continue to pass it on and pour it into the youth, and you know, continue to strive to you know, seek that health in that cycle of being connected with the various generations. So often people get stuck in their own loop, and they don't have the outside ingredients pour in. I always say, you know, what a boring dish to make if you don't add any new ingredients, right?
Right. True.
So, I feel also like we got a little bit lucky, you know, and I think that plays a part in it when you're going through life and you've had great people come alongside you at the right time, say the right thing. You definitely are not an island. You didn't do it alone. There's nothing. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's no such thing as a self-made person. Everybody's got somebody pouring into them. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that want to beat their chest and say they did something all by themselves. I did this, but it's just not true. Whether you acknowledge it or not, somebody either pointed you the right direction, said the right thing at the right time, gave you an opportunity.
Influenced you in some way.
Yeah. Even if it's indirectly or subconsciously or whatever it may be, you know. So, I think that there's a lot of like that support that maybe we don't even acknowledge it you know, and sometimes I mean, I know a lot of the stuff that we have had help with, we have acknowledged.
We've had a lot of cheerleaders over the last 25 years
Totally. So I think there's hope.
Yeah.
I think yes, we're lucky. Yes, we're, you know, I guess in my sense, I feel like we've been blessed and living the dream. But I think other people have self-imposed barriers that they put up. And I would encourage people, you know, talk to somebody who's been down that road, tap into what they have already gone through, and just, get out of your own way.
Yeah.
So
Good advice.
yeah, awesome. Well, I think, unless you had something else you wanted to add.
Well, at some point, you got to tell us the rest of the threes.
Oh, there's a lot of threes.
Yeah.
If you want to hear a couple.
I mean, I already know, but I think that
I'll give you a couple more threes, okay?
our audience might be interested in all your threes.
I don't think so. But if you want to know the path to marital bliss.
This is Luke's path to marital bliss.
And I'm going to make half of them up as I go, because it's like anything that has a 3 in it is all that matters. So it starts to fall apart a little bit here, but I'll walk you through it. Okay. Let's see. You don't kiss until the 3rd date.
Okay.
You don't go on more than 3 dates in a week.
Overexposure.
Overexposure. Okay. Yep. There's something behind all of these things, right?
Yeah.
Don't kiss
until when? Like 3 dates?
After 90 days, you can.
Till the 3-month mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then let's see. There's so many good ones in there. No dates last longer than 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. But this is all leading up to the 3 months. Then once you hit the 3 months, that stops, and then you.
Well, there's other things. There's other 3s after the 3 months, but no, I love yous for the first 3 months.
Okay.
You don't say I love you. That's
Do you think you don't know?
You're infatuated.
Okay, it's the honeymoon phase kind of dating.
Absolutely. Maybe you love them, but you don't actually know if it's love or infatuation until 3 months.
Okay.
So the first couple of 3s, they get you out of that gate. Yeah. They get you out of that infatuation. Oh my gosh, we met and then we've been on a date every single day that lasts, 10 hours. And it's like, oh my word, you guys,
oversaturation.
Give it some room to breathe, I mean, let's let a little desire develop and, a little longing of the heart, right?
Yeah.
And then,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then after 3 months, then you should be looking at the next 3 quarters of, are you going to start a life together? And then you can date a little longer than 3 hours and see each other a little more than 3 times a week.
Okay.
And say, I love you, and you can kiss.
Do you remember how long it took us to say I love you?
3 months.
Was it 3 months?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you wait? Did you have this I got the 3 rule in my mind,
for sure did.
And I can't say
what
I love you.
What are you talking about? You remember, we would say I like you a lot.
I really like you.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Because I said I don't want to tell you that I'm more than like you, because I might just be infatuated with you, which turns out I am infatuated, but I also love you. But I think, and then after that, you're 9 to 12 months in and you're getting engaged, and then don't have your engagement last more than 3 quarters.
Another 3 quarters.
3 quarters. Anything with a 3.
So you can't have a 1-year engagement. It's got to be 3 quarters.
1 year's too long.
Okay.
I mean, why wait? These people with these long engagements, it's like, and then don't have any more than 3 kids. Don't start any more than 3 businesses. No, I don't know. I mean, you just
make up 3
plop
rules
a 3
for the
in
rest of your
there,
life.
and I'm sure it'll work, because 3 is a magic number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So fun. Well, I'll tell you all more about the 333 program if you guys want. I don't know if they can message me or somehow anybody out there looking for, further details on this, contact me. It'll be great. All right. Thanks, Leah.
All right.